Shalom. What do the Most High require of us? This is a question, and people need to understand what do He require of us. Many don't know and don't understand what's required. This is one of those things that you don't hear many talking about. Proverbs 6 and 23 says the commandment is a lamp and thy law is a light. So we must use his law in these dark and evil last days as a light, as a guidance. Let me start this with Deuteronomy 30, verse 10, and I'm going to read through verse 16. Verse 10 says, if you shall hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, and if you turn unto Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul. So here we're being told to keep his commandments, his statutes, that's written in the book of the law, which is our light, and return unto him with all our heart and with all our soul. Verse 11, for this commandment which I command thee this day is not hidden from thee, neither is it far. So this was hidden from us, but now today it should not be hidden from us. Verse 12, it is not in heaven, that you should say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear and do it. So this law, we must hear and do it. Verse 13, neither is it beyond the sea, that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear and do it. But the word is very near unto you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. So this word, his law, should be in our mouth and in our heart. This is so important. We must know his law. Verse 14, but the word is very nigh, it's in your mouth and it's in your heart, that you may do it. So this is the reason it's in our heart, it's in our mouth, that we may do it. It says, see, I had set before thee this day life and good, death and evil. Verse 16, and that I command thee this day to love Yahuwah your Elohim. So here's our commandment. Love Yahuwah our Elohim, to walk in his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall bless you in the land where you go to possess it. And of course that land he's talking about here is before they went into the promised land. And now Deuteronomy, this is Deuteronomy 10 and 12 and 13. And it reads, and now, Yasharal, what do Yahuwah your Elohim require of you? Here's the requirement. Number 1, fear Yahuwah your Elohim and walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve Yahuwah thy Elohim with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of Yahuwah and his statutes, which I command thee this day for your good. So, you know, what we're looking at here, each one of these must be broken down individually with the fear of Yahuwah. Many people don't fear him because they don't understand what it means, and it definitely needs to be broken down. Many don't walk in his ways because they don't know his ways. They don't know how he works, how he operates. To love him, we know to love him is to keep his commandments. He that say that they love him and don't keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth not in him. 1 John 2 and 3. and to serve Him with all your heart and your soul. And again, you have to know His ways in order to do that. How can you keep His commandments and His statutes unless you know them? So, these are the requirements. This is what He requires of us. And this Deuteronomy 10 and 12 and 13, memorize it. If you don't have this memorized, memorize it and meditate on this scripture day and night. Let it be a part of you, and that we may live and not die. I hope you take the heart to this message. Shalom.